Around 4 years ago, I was still the kind of man who believed loyalty was sacred and family meant everything. I had been married to Clarissa for 15 years. Ours wasn't a flashy life. We didn't vacation in far-off destinations or live in a grand home, but I thought we shared something solid, a simple, peaceful life that felt secure. I worked as a regional logistics manager for a supply chain company. It wasn't the kind of job that turned heads, but it provided well. Clarissa held a part-time position at a boutique. I truly believe we had built a steady foundation together. When I married her, she came with a daughter, Chloe, from a prior relationship. Chloe was only 3 then, and her biological father had disappeared before she was even born. I stepped into that role without hesitation. I changed her diapers, stayed up through sleepless nights when she was sick, clapped at every school performance, and even coached her soccer team when no other parent would volunteer. I never once called her my stepdaughter. To me, she was simply my daughter, or so I believed. On our 15th wedding anniversary, I had planned something special for Clarissa. I reserved a table at the same restaurant where I had asked her to marry me. I even bought her a simple yet meaningful necklace. I came home early that evening, eager to surprise her. But as I walked inside, I heard laughter coming from the bedroom. I figured she must have been on a phone call. That illusion shattered when I opened the door and found her in bed with a man who couldn't have been older than 25. I was 44 at the time. The guy looked more like a college kid than someone wrecking a marriage. Clarissa didn't even look startled. Calmly, she said, "I was going to tell you." I didn't shout. I didn't argue. I just turned around, walked out, sat in my car, and stared into nothing for hours, trying to comprehend what I just witnessed. The next day, she started twisting the narrative, saying our marriage had been dead for years, that I'd been emotionally distant. The usual justifications. I refused to bite. I told her I'd be filing for divorce. No drama, just a clear decision. But it didn't end there. Chloe, 18 now and preparing for college, called me the day after I filed the papers. I braced myself for tears, maybe confusion. Instead, I got blamed. She accused me of being selfish, of destroying our family because her mother had made a mistake. She finished with words that gutted me. "I thought you loved us." That word, us, crushed something inside me. I had loved them both with everything I had, and yet they were tossing me aside like none of it mattered. I didn't argue. I simply wished her well in college. Then I contacted my attorney and relinquished all parental rights. Legally, Chloe was never mine. Emotionally, they had erased me. They made it clear I wasn't part of their future, so I gave them exactly what they wanted. I walked away. I moved into a modest apartment downtown and focused on myself. I joined a gym, dropped 30 pounds, and eventually secured a better position with a global shipping company, nearly doubling my salary. Life didn't turn around overnight, but step by step, I rebuilt something new, something that belonged to me alone. 2 years later, a message popped up on my LinkedIn from Chloe. She said she wanted to talk. I didn't reply immediately, but curiosity eventually got the better of me. When I asked what she needed, she said it was better discussed in person. Against my better judgment, I agreed to meet her at a downtown coffee shop. When I arrived, she stood and gave me a nervous, hesitant smile, the kind a kid gives when they've broken something valuable. I sat down. She started with, "I just wanted to say I'm sorry." I stayed silent and let her speak. She explained how the man Clarissa left me for, his name was Brandon, had taken advantage of her. He mooched off Clarissa, cheated on her multiple times, and even slept with a girl Chloe's age. He bailed after 6 months. Clarissa's life spiraled. She lost her job, started drinking heavily. Chloe had to work part-time while juggling school just to keep the bills paid. Then Chloe said something that hit me like a punch to the gut. "I thought about calling you sooner. I even dialed once, but I couldn't bring myself to go through with it. I didn't know how." And then she got to the real reason she wanted to meet. "I need help. I'm behind on tuition. If I don't pay by the end of the month, I'll be dropped. And Mom, she's in no state to help me." I leaned back, locked eyes with her, and reminded her how she had once called me selfish, how she cut me off like I never meant anything. Her eyes welled with tears. I wasn't angry. I had simply accepted reality. You were right, I told her. You didn't think I mattered, but now you do. Life has a way of teaching hard lessons. I placed a $10 bill on the table to cover my coffee and stood. Before walking away, I said quietly, I hope you finish school. I truly do, but I'm not your safety net. You made your choice. Now you'll have to live with it. That was 6 months ago. I haven't heard from Chloe or Clarissa since. From what I've heard through mutual acquaintances, Clarissa moved in with her sister, and Chloe's working full-time, trying to fund her education on her own. Maybe she'll make it. Maybe she won't. As for me, life finally settled into a quiet peace. I bought a small house by the lake. I met someone new, someone who treated me like I wasn't disposable. She came with no baggage, no kids, and love with a heart that didn't keep score. I used to think that walking away was a sign of defeat. Now I know better. Walking away meant choosing calm over chaos, and that's a choice I'll never regret. It had been half a year since Chloe asked me for help with her tuition. 6 months since I walked out of that coffee shop and never looked back. But it seemed Clarissa and her daughter didn't know how to leave things alone. Just 3 weeks after that awkward reunion, I was served, literally, one evening. I opened my door to find a thick envelope waiting for me. Inside, a formal petition from Clarissa's lawyer. Their argument? Since I had acted as a father figure to Chloe for over a decade, I was now somehow morally and legally responsible for helping fund her education. They claimed my years as a de facto parent made me financially obligated, despite the fact that I'd already signed away all parental rights. I couldn't help it. I laughed, standing in my kitchen. I chuckled like I just heard the most ridiculous punchline. But underneath that laugh burned a quiet rage. These people had tossed me aside, belittled me, humiliated me. Chloe once called me selfish for walking away from a wife who betrayed me. And now they dare to twist the love I had for the child I raised, trying to use it against me. Not this time. I called my attorney, a sharp, no-nonsense man who didn't believe in playing nice. After reading through the petition, he gave a slight smirk and said, "They've got nothing, but we can hit back." And that's exactly what we did. He filed a countersuit, demanding repayment for every single dollar I'd spent on Chloe over the years. Private school tuition, medical bills, dance classes, birthday presents, you name it. Every expense, every receipt, every cent from when she was 3 until she turned 18. When we tallied it all up, it came to $196,000. Maybe it felt petty, but it was fair. Clarissa fought it, of course. She argued that everything I had given was simply out of love, no different than child support. Never mind the fact I wasn't Chloe's biological father. But when the judge reviewed the documents, especially the proof that I had voluntarily relinquished parental rights, and neither Clarissa nor Chloe had objected, and when he saw that Chloe completely cut off contact after the divorce, their case unraveled. The judge threw out their petition. Even better, he scheduled a hearing for my reimbursement claim. Clarissa didn't even bother showing up, but Chloe did. On the stand, she tried playing the innocent card, said she didn't really understand what had happened back then, claimed she thought I was the one abandoning them. My lawyer asked her a few straightforward questions. "Did you ever ask him why he divorced your mother?" She hesitated. "No." "Did you ever reach out to him after he left?" "No." "Did you ever thank him for raising you like his own?" Silence. Then came the last question, the one that cut the deepest. "If he wasn't your father when it came to love, why is he your father when it comes to money?" She had no answer. She stared down at her lap. The judge didn't grant me the full $196,000, but he did award $32,000. Why that amount? It turned out that after our divorce, Clarissa and Chloe quietly drained a trust fund I had set up for Chloe's college, an account that legally was still in my name. What they did bordered dangerously on fraud. 2 days after the hearing, I heard another knock on my door. It was Chloe, but this wasn't the confident young woman I once knew. No makeup, wearing baggy sweats, hair tied up like she hadn't bothered in days. She stood on my porch and whispered, "I didn't know things would get this bad." I said nothing. She kept talking. "My mom's drinking again. She lost her job. Our lease is almost up. We've got nowhere to go. I don't even care about school anymore. I feel like I've lost everything." Right there on my doorstep, she broke down in tears. I won't lie. A part of me wanted to hold her, tell her everything would be all right. The same part of me that once loved her, cared for her, forgave her again and again. But I remembered. I remembered when she called me selfish, when she never once asked for my side of the story, when she stared me down in court while her mother tried to bleed me dry. So I told her the truth. I wasn't the one who left, I said softly, but I'm also not the one you need now. She pleaded, "Can't you just help us get back on our feet? You've got money now. You're doing well. Just this once, please." I shook my head. "I didn't walk away to punish you, Chloe. I walked away because you and your mom showed me I was never really part of your family. Now I'm protecting the peace I worked hard to build." Then I added gently, "And you need to protect your own peace, too. That starts by owning your choices." I handed her a business card, the contact for a local women's shelter and a job placement agency. And then I closed the door, not out of spite, not out of anger, just with quiet finality. Clarissa ended up filing for bankruptcy. Chloe dropped out of college. Last I heard, she's waiting tables at a diner across town, sleeping on a friend's couch. And the man Clarissa left me for? He got arrested last year for fraud. Fitting, I guess. As for me, I remarried last month. No drama, no lies. Just two adults who genuinely love and respect each other. She knows everything about my past and still chose me. That's the kind of love I didn't even know existed before. Sometimes, the people you give everything to will never appreciate your sacrifices. But one day, they'll remember exactly why you stopped making them. And that's when the story truly ends.